Capitol Ball in the Capitol Rotunda, and you're listening to the 25th University of South Dakota Centennial Dance Orchestra under the direction of Professor Skip Swenson. We have one more waltz in this set coming up. This is the 1894 composition Sidewalks of New York. You should know that one. And coming up shortly will be polka-ing and schottische-ing, as pretty soon we're going to be going to the Ramkota to show you what's going on there too. Let's go back to this great music, Sidewalks of New York.
The orchestra will take a brief pause now, but we will have more. We will go back to polkas.
Well, the USD Centennial Orchestra that we have been listening to and enjoying so much is really well broken in for this kind of an event. They played for bicentennial balls in Yankton, Vermilion, and in Madison in 1976, and for the University of South Dakota Centennial. And just 2 days ago, they were also featured at Statehood Day for Governor Millett's ball. And that's one of the reasons why we keep hearing from Governor Millett. He's here this evening, and he is really pushing his own orchestra and introducing a lot of the things that they're doing. We're going to go out to the Ramkota, I think, and see what's going on out there if we can. I think Larry Rohr and...
Okay, before we go out to the Ramkota,
oh, thanks.
Why don't we take just a second to let the people know that this is indeed live on South Dakota Public Television all over the state and the nation, and that we have some very kind underwriters who have helped make this possible for all South Dakotans. We'll be back in just a minute.
We'll go out to the Ramkota and just take a peek and see what's going on out there. Ooh, beautiful! And the excitement is beginning to build at the Centennial Ball, a toast to the future, coming to you live from the Ramkota Inn in Pierre, South Dakota. And there are people starting to filter in right now, and there's a lot of activity going on. The ball officially begins at 9 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. I'm Ginger Thompson here with Larry Rohr, and we're also joined by Roger Hollenbeck, and he is the commander of the 147th Army Band, who's going to be entertaining us tonight.
That's correct.
Welcome.
Mr. Hollenbeck, the band has traveled all around South Dakota. In fact, is South Dakota's band, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Most states have at least one National Guard band, and we represent the entire state of South Dakota.
And most of the members aren't, now you're headquartered in Mitchell, but the members are from across the state.
That's correct, sir. We have people come as far as Belle Fourche, Clear Lake, Watertown. We drive approximately 2,000 miles one way for everybody to make it to drill.
Now you've participated in quite a number of the Centennial events this year as well.
Yes, sir. I believe this, just during the summer, we appeared in 17 different communities. As part of our guard camp and also as part of our weekend drills. A lot of parades, a lot of concerts, and also a few dances.
So it's appropriate you're here for the finale this evening.
Yes, sir. It's going to be fun.
What are we going to hear?
Well, you're going to hear the 147th Army Jazz Band, stage band, and of course we'll be playing dance music all night, and you'll hear a wide variety. You'll hear Tommy Dorsey, Glenn Miller, mostly of the swing era type music.
I saw there's a little 50s and 60s in there.
There's a little bit of that in there too, yes, sir.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, it will be.
Everybody in the band looking forward to it?
Oh, you bet they are. You bet they are. This is, the Centennial's been a lot of fun this year, and we're glad we can be here for the end of it.
And is this going to be your last? You have some more performances? Now, you're going to retire in a month.
I'm going to retire next month, so in fact, this afternoon was the last time I'll conduct that band in public, and that was a good way to go out.
Yeah, and we're looking forward for the evening as well. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, and this is the grand finale, as we mentioned. We're going to be toasting to the future at about midnight tonight. The governor is going to make the official toast to the future, bringing us into the next century of statehood for South Dakota. So stay tuned for that. The Centennial Ball is coming up at 9 o'clock, so please tune in. Join us.
The candles burn into the night here, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Notice that we're not burning our candle at both ends. We'll be spreading a great bright light all across here from this area of the state all across South Dakota as we continue our live coverage of the South Dakota Centennial finale. And we've got some more ball coming up downstairs here, the Centennial Ball, and then we have the Capitol Ball. Here, we'll be going back to that in just a second, and we'll be back for the official start of the Centennial Ball when that kicks off in just a few minutes. So the next set coming up from the USD Centennial Orchestra would include some hot tunes.
Oh, I wish we could go down and dance, Rich. We're going to have to do it at least right here in front of the window. We've got the Village Tavern Polka, Barbara Polka, and you can't have polkas if you don't play the Beer Barrel Polka. You know, I wish you could get that out yet. I don't know if Skip can work you into his ensemble, but we'll have to see about that. So we're going to be going to a polka set in just a few moments, and you will enjoy watching all of your friends and neighbors dancing. Also, they're going to be dancing the schottische, which is a dance that we don't use anymore, but there are a number of people in the area when they go to hometown dances that still know how to do the schottische. Somewhat. It's not so much used as a ballroom dance anymore. Also, we've got Foxtrot and Back to the Waltz again, and it's going to be a beautiful evening of dancing right here at our own rotunda as we watch the Capitol Ball. It looks beautiful out there at the Ramkota.
It does. In fact, it's beautiful here at the Dome. We've been talking about it all day and showing you. You couldn't build a set that would look like this. In fact, it's taken 14 years to bring this set around so it looks like this. The Capitol building at one time here was basically painted industrial strength blue paint back in the mid-70s. They covered up all the artwork and they brought it back over the past 14 years. We've got a piece of videotape here that was produced about 3 years ago that kind of updates the artifact work that went in and the restoration process. We'd like to share that with you right now.
Out in the middle of the prairie, all of a sudden you find this one gem. It really is a gem because there's so much beauty and artwork and architecture that you don't find in many of the other areas of the state. To me, that makes it unique to having it all in a case of its own. It's all set aside by itself.
This is the seat of our government. It's where the rules are made that really most affect and touch the lives of South Dakotans. And I think it's incredibly important that it be a place of, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to have the most expensive ornaments and attachments and architecture and construction as much as it has to fit the uniqueness of the character of a particular area. This being the character of South Dakota. And it really has to be a place that everybody can be proud of. The real way that you take care of the seat of your government is a reflection on how you take care of the society that you live in. And this speaks very well for South Dakota.
Buildings aren't often historic, and history isn't often tangible. But occasionally, buildings and history combine to become a powerful reminder of the architecture, artwork, politics, and dreams of a people. Such is the case with the newly remodeled South Dakota Capitol in Pierre. Finished in 1910 at a cost of $1 million, the Capitol has undergone a multi-million-dollar refurbishing during the past 4 years. Due to its age, usage, and the inability of the state to properly maintain the building during the Great Depression, the Capitol was in need of work inside and out. Actual restoration of the Capitol itself, however, grew out of work being done outside the Capitol.
The restoration of the Capitol is really the outgrowth of a project that my wife had with the Capitol grounds. As she looked out our house one day, across Capitol Lake over to the beautiful Capitol, there were old spare tires in the water, there was weeds growing up all around, there were rocks every place. I mean, the grounds were honestly just a mess. We've planted now, since I've been governor, over 4,000 trees on the Capitol grounds itself, really as an outgrowth of that idea that my wife had. And then the Capitol was a logical extension. I mean, it's been a multi-million-dollar, hundreds of thousands of hours project with state employees and other people that's really turned into something.
With the idea formed, a Capitol Complex and Beautification Commission appointed, and money appropriated by the South Dakota legislature, the stage was set for the often backbreaking and difficult job of restoring the Capitol. Returning the Capitol to its 1910 splendor and making it a usable and sturdy public building was paramount. On the outside, a new parking lot and sidewalk system has been installed, the lake has been dredged, and tuck pointing has been done on the stones in the facade. On the inside, artists have often had to be more like detectives, trying to relocate designs and paintings, then arduously reconstruct them.
You go in and you just take a paint remover, and you scrape off a layer, and then you scrape off another layer, and then you scrape off another layer. And then when you're pretty much down there, you take a marker and you mark in what you can see and what you can find. Once you have all the lines on, take a piece of paper and you put the piece of paper over the wall and you draw in what you can see on the paper. Then you take it back to the shop and you make a pounce paper. And you put that on the wall, take chalk and you pounce it in and you draw in the design.
The results of such hard work have brought back the original designs and intentions. According to Harold Schuler, who has written a book on the history of the Capitol, South Dakotans have a group of women from the turn of the century to thank for ensuring a beautiful Capitol interior.
Well, the Federation of Women's Club in South Dakota in 1909, I believe, passed a motion that they should spend at least 5% for decorations, which would come to about $40,000. And of course, the decorations on the walls were the most spectacular. And of course, now they're all coming out, those old decorations, through restoration of the Capitol. Western architects call it a monument left for art. and I think it's quite evident that it was a beautifully designed interior.
Schuler says South Dakotans should also thank Minneapolis architect C.E. Bell. Bell made creative yet frugal use of state funds to build the Capitol in 1910. To save costs, Bell designed the South Dakota Capitol in large part after his designs for Montana's State House. But while watching the pennies, Bell also knew where not to compromise.
Originally, the plan called for cast iron stairways and cast iron railings in the rotunda. And Bell realized afterwards that this would cheapen the building. So he recommended that they use Vermont white marble for the railings and for the grand stairway and for the wainscoting in all 3 floors. And that's all that marble, placing it and everything, only cost $20,000 extra, and the Capitol Commission voted yes. And I think it's perhaps one of the wisest decisions they made in interior decoration.
So the dreams of South Dakotans, past and present, have converged on the modified Greek Ionic structure in Pierre. According to Gwen Kleinschmidt, the Capitol tour guide who conducts tours for some 20,000 people a year, most are impressed with the South Dakota Capitol. In fact, she says there's often more appreciation of the building by non-residents than by South Dakotans.
We have a lot of people from out of state that are thoroughly impressed with the Capitol. There's a lot of people who that is their activity, is to visit every Capitol in the nation. Most of those people are thoroughly impressed, and they put ours as one of the top 5. It is one of the most beautiful capitals in the nation. It's also one of the most fully restored. And it's something in South Dakota we can really be proud of.
For Kleinschmidt, who conducts 3 tours a day, 5 days a week, the connecting designs of the acanthus leaves, past flowers, and other symbols most impress her about the building and its restoration. For Schuler, the grand staircase and rotunda are tops. Schuler is also moved by the fact that many of the greats of South Dakota politics have roamed these decorative halls. But for Governor Janklow, everything is his favorite part of the Capitol.
When we did the lake, that was my favorite part of the Capitol. When we did Hilger's Gulch, that was my favorite part of the Capitol. When we rebuilt all of the grounds around, planted the flowers by the tens of thousands and all the trees, that grassy area became my favorite part of the Capitol. When we did the restoration on the inside, that became my favorite part of the Capitol. It's all going to be magnificently beautiful. I mean, I'm very proud of it, and I think the people of South Dakota are, that it's all together very beautiful. But each step of the way has been the part I'm most proud of.
And we were glad we were able to share that little bit of historical perspective on the Capitol building, the setting for our Capitol Ball this evening.